we are targeting 25 crore people to practice yoga on that day. It's not a small number. Therefore, our institute has started the 100 days countdown, sensitizing the various yoga organizations, yoga enthusiasts across the globe. One city, one organization, one day, 100 days. Then more than 84 central ministries and departments are involved in this mega event. Now the main event this time, it's going to happen in Mysore Palace, where Honorable Prime Minister Sri Narendra Modi ji is going to lead the nation. So with all these, the contribution of the Yogacharyas of Karnataka and the various educational programs and research activities, particularly related to therapy, it starts from the Sri Krishnamacharya of Mysore Samsthan in 1856 and onwards. The Mysore Maharaja, then in beginning of the 20th century, T. Krishnamacharya, who has the very prominent Yogacharya, then B.K. Sayangarji, Pattabi, and many other legends have continued the rich tradition of yoga and yoga chikitsa, and where Karnataka masters, yoga masters, are contributing a lot in the world scenario. Therefore, before I begin the therapy this time, your institute and division and shall join hands. So if you practice there, if you register, we'll provide a participation certificate. If you registered in a yoga certification board, will provide a yoga volunteer certificate. So please join us and make this big event a memorable one. Now let us come to the topic. So as Honorable Pro Chancellor Professor Rao has informed that on 27th September 2014, Honorable Prime Minister of India, Sri Narendra Modi ji, has appealed the entire world through the platform United Nations General Assembly, requesting and narrating the importance of yoga. That is, I quote, yoga is an invaluable gift of ancient Indian tradition. It embodies unity of mind and body, thought and action, restraint and fulfillment, harmony between man and nature. It's all a holistic approach to health and well-being. So considering this appeal and very excellent diplomacy, United Nations General Assembly on 14th December adopted a resolution declaring 21st June as the International Day of Yoga. Then the promotion and development of yoga has taken the exponential growth during the last 8 years. So therefore, the ancient wisdom and our culture and spiritual heritage has become the world most biggest public health initiative ever. Why? Because yoga brings harmony in all walks of life. Therefore, it is known for preventive or disease prevention. It's a preventive medicine. Because there are medical professionals sitting here, they also agree that yoga has the potential in the disease prevention. Where is the root in our Shastra? Patanjali says, Heyam Dukkham Anagatam. I'm always quoting the traditional strophes. Dukkha is inevitable and we cannot avoid, but it can be prevented by the practice of yoga. Then health promotion for various personality development to achieve the excellence in life. Yoga come to the rescue of an individual. Most importantly, now as a therapy department, it strengthens the management various lifestyle related disorders, particularly in the rehabilitation, cardiac rehabilitation, cancer patient rehabilitation. In the recent past, the COVID patient rehabilitation, yoga played a very vital and prominent role, and the new dimensions are opened up. What are the silent futures? In my opinion, yoga is essentially spiritual. If any therapist or a teacher not considering the spiritual dimension of yoga, yoga therapy doesn't complete. It's a darsana, it's a rational entity. They're not taking it's a blind, it's a rational thinking, not only the scientific, but it is scientific. In science, we experiment, here it is experience. And these three, spirituality and philosophy and science, gives you a very art of healthy living. This art of healthy living brings harmony in all walks of life. But all these things happen because yoga practices are mind-centered. Manayeva manushanam karanam bandha mokshayo. All our suffering and happiness, the root cause is our mind and its management. Therefore, the mind plays an important role in one's performance, in one's disease condition. Therefore, yoga is the only system which takes care of our mind and its management. What is the purpose of yoga? The purpose of life for the ordinary people is sukha pravritti and dukkha nivritti. So, but dukkha always follows. In Sankhya, it said dukkha is it's always following just like a shadow, which is called tapatraya, dukkhatraya. They're called adibhautika, adidevika, adhyatmika. So these are some of the wonderful concepts, the philosophical concept, so which are giving birth to the yoga. That means man is suffering, but is there any end for the suffering? And he search and yoga emerge as the solution. But in our life, we are having four instincts: ahara, nidra, bhaya, maithuna. These are the four instincts. To overcome this, Ayurveda have three upastambhas: ahara, nidra, brahmacharya. If you are taken care of very well educated ahara, the principles of ahara, and a quality sleep, good sleep, and maintaining the brahmacharya, we can live healthy. Therefore, diet, sleep, and celibacy are the observed properly, and thus the body is supported well by these three pillars, upastambhas. It continues well endowed with strength, complexion, and development till the completion of lifespan, which yoga gives 100 years. Ayurveda also. Why for 100 years without any disease? To understand what is my true nature. So why born as a human being? To get liberated from the cycle of birth and death. So that's why we need a healthy body and also very calm and quiet mind to achieve the highest goal of life, the moksha or the liberation. Then what are the functions? So they are pancha kleshas. Avidya is the root cause for all these things. Avidya, asmita, raga, dvesha, abhinimesha. Ignorance, what is that? Which is not true, which is not permanent. We are thinking it as a permanent. We all know that we are temporary, we are going to die. But we live like that, we are going to stay here for thousands of years. Earn money, name, fame, so many things. Asmita, raga, vesha, dinivesha. So these are the important kleshas affecting our life. Whenever you are considering a therapy, all these dimensions you have to take. Then in Sankhya, so Prakriti and Purusha, then Purusha come in contact with Prakriti, which is of three gunas, Sattva, Rajo, and Tamo guna. So then evolution starts. In the beginning, it is Mahat, then all your yoga people, you know how evolution takes place. And 24 principles of Prakriti, you all know that. Therefore, for yoga therapy, you must understand Sattva, Raja, and Tamo. Then Ayurveda it is Vata, Pitta, and Kapha, three dosha. So, whenever you come to the physical body, 100% you have to take the help of some of the Ayurvedic principles which has been time tested. Then it comes to the Panchakosha as explained in the Taittiriya Upanishad, Annamaya Kosha, Pranamaya Kosha, Manomaya Kosha, Vijnanamaya and Anandamaya Kosha. So the disease manifests in the Manomaya Kosha. It is in the lower plane, it comes to the body and convert into the disorder and the disease. And in a higher plane, it not allowing the discrimination power, and we are in the illusion. We are living in the illusion. Loss of our strength to understand the reality. Therefore, mind management is the most important thing, even it is mentioned in the Taittiriya. Now come to the next. In Ayurveda, whenever we treat dhatu, sukra, majja, asti, meda, mansa, rakta, rasa, sapta dhatu, samadhatu, samagni, samadoshaham malakriyaha, sannatmendriyamana, arogya, ya swasta ityavidiyate. Shastra, Ayurveda Shastra. Sorry. Therefore, arogya, dhatu, the knowledge of dhatu while giving yoga therapy is very, very important. Then these are the one or two from Ayurveda, but in yoga, when you come to, there is a chakra, sapta chakra. So all our asanas, it may be Paschimottanasana, Ushtrasana, Sarvangasana, all the traditional asanas. So they are being developed to channelize the energy center. They are subtle. So many people, can you dissect and tell? No, we cannot. They are subtle. They can be experienced. Therefore, they have different colors, different petals, and accordingly, the yoga practices have been designed. Technology has been devised to channelize the energies, each chakra, so that I can regulate my prana and ultimately this one. Then the prana and pancha prana. Prana, apana, udana, samana, and vyana. You all know the difference. I am giving you the entire fundamental concepts of yoga therapy. I am starting from the tapatraya, panchaklesha, etc. I am going to. All these things are making use. We are making use in the diagnostic and also these things. So once it is pancha prana, we are regulating the ida and pingala, and ultimately it is connects with the sushumna. Then the prana starts flowing. It is in the subtle body, not in the physical body. Then we connect with the mind. This is the way. Patanjali says, dukkha daurmanasya angamejetva shwasa prashwasa are the symptoms of what? You are having some problems. What are? Vyadhi, dhyana, samshaya, pramada, alasya, avirati, bhranti darshana, alabdha bhumikatva, anavasitatva. And he has given various solutions. So what are the symptoms? Symptoms are dukkha, daurmanasya, shwasa. So therefore, it's going to be like that. We have to see the Yoga Sutras and various tantric tradition text, yoga text, etc. to use. So therefore, these are all the things we have to understand while giving the yoga therapy. Before that, I would like to emphasize two important concepts. Whenever you are going for the yoga therapy, one is your physical and physiological body, where the tantra up to the physical body, and you take help of some Ayurveda for the diagnostic, and also prana and pranic energy, some tantric literature or the practices. Then when it comes to the mind, the Yoga Sutra of Patanjali. This is a wonderful combination. That's why, so the holistically we have to take the yogic concepts, the one. The second one is, there are different forms of yoga as mentioned by our Honorable Pro-Chancellor. That is Jnana Bhakti Karma. Once we orient mind, where we are going to apply it in society. That means once we want to do the karma, how to do the karma, the principles of karma yoga. And we are in a society, how to manage our emotions. So nirupadika bhakti, unconditional love. Love gives a lot of happiness and pleasure. So once we do this, then there is a discrimination knowledge. Nitya anitya vastu viveka. That is jnana. That jnana leads to moksha. That moksha is health according to yoga, in my opinion. Therefore, in the WHO, that has given health is a state of complete physical, mental, social well-being. It's not only the disease, it's a well-being they're talking about. But in yoga, I found complete cessation of all kinds of suffering, and its root cause ignorance, which brings harmony in all walks of life and leads to such a freedom that gives away tada drashtuhu swarupe vastham. I always work, but I establish inside the eternal peace. That is my nature. This is the total health concept of yoga. The yoga concept of health, it is the end of ignorance, and it is harmony in all walks of life. Where the harmony starts at the micro level. Micro means between the cells and tissues and organs and systems to the prana to the mind to the buddhi or the intelligence, like this centers. So when it comes to the prana, slowly it has formed. Ultimately, when it comes to the self, it is infinite. It is minus infinite. I am a student of physics. I did my master's. So it is a minus infinite to the plus infinite. So micro to the macro, the journey. For me, that journey is yoga journey. That journey is a yoga journey. All students of yoga should remember. You may be somewhere in this line. Maybe in a minus or in a plus, whatever it may be, you are in that line. None of us are having perfection. But are you that in number line or in that minus infinity, plus infinity, micro to macro level? Yes, you are a sadhaka. Because nobody on this earth is 100% perfect. Yoga takes you to that. How much nearer? That much of freedom you had. That much of harmony. Harmony went. So I work with 100 things are coming up. So capability to coordination with the situation, with the people, with the different circumstances, without losing my inner peace. Harmony within, but harmony outside. That is the total freedom we have to experience, not at the end of the life. Videha mukti nahi, in the Jivan mukti, in the Jiva itself. That is emphasized in Yoga Sutra of Patanjali, Kaivalya Prapti, and also the Advaita of Shankaracharya, which has been mentioned. So same thing, health and wellness. Wellness, it is eat well, sleep well, and manage your emotions and intelligence in social life, family life, and in occupational and especially spiritual level. The 6 important dimensions of wellness yoga provides. When it comes to the yoga therapy, there are many I've mentioned about where our strengths are. One is any metabolic disorders. I have not mentioned all metabolic disorders. Any metabolic disorder, it may be indigestion, it may be constipation or irritable bowel syndrome, anything you can take. Okay, because it starts with the metabolism, the right food, ahara, the inception, the digestion, then the absorption, circulation, and elimination. Last one, relaxation. So all these things are the optimum level, and metabolism gives you a lot of strength, ability to perform the work. If any of these 6 are not taken care, then we lead to different metabolic disorders like diabetes and various types of metabolic disorders. Therefore, yoga have the strength to what? About ahara, inception, how to digest well, absorb well, circulate well. All the yoga asanas, bandhas, mudras, cleansing practices, meditation. So all these things happen. Therefore, yoga therapy is very, very prominent in the prevention of metabolic disorders, in the management of metabolic disorders, and also as a secondary prevention when you have a therapy along with the other medical system, yoga comes. Then the last one, psychological disorders, stress and anxiety, depression, and various psychological syndromes, migraine, or neurological, psychological. So all these things are the root causes of many of our disorders, psychosomatic disorders. Yoga comes to. Now comes to the wonderful section, rehabilitation. Nowadays, there are cardiac rehabilitation center, cancer rehabilitation center, COVID rehabilitation centers. So you can see in all these rehabilitation, yoga is the primary therapy. So that's why there is a lot of scope. We can save the money, we can save the time, and we can give new hopes to the patients, especially the cancer and cardiac patients. So if they're treated well and rehabilitation takes place, they can once again live a normal life. These are some of the strengths. There are many, but I pointed out only few where yoga therapy has the largest scope in that. What are the first, body? It is made up of Pancha Mahabhuta. So whenever you treat, whatever happens in these 5 Mahabhutas, it has the impact on our body. So whenever you go for yoga therapy, we'll check which is the factor affecting your body disorder or a disease. Then is there any energy level? Is there any problem or these things at the energy level? So that is the prana. Then mind, thoughts and emotions. Irregular thoughts, emotions. So emotional imbalance, all these things will be taken care. Then ultimately, has a person ability to take the decisions, right decision at right time, will solve many problems. Discrimination power, how much illusion he is having about on his own strength, on the society and the family and the universe. Yoga therapist has to take care of these 5 fundamentals while treating a patient come for chikitsa. Then what are the practices? This is my slide of patented slide. It's not patented, but that much of famous. I am giving yoga therapy only with this one slide. What is that? First of all, I go to some prerequisites, talking to them and make the counsel and how much yama niyamas are there practicing life without knowing them, how much truthful they are, how much shaucha they maintain, how much happy they are. All these prerequisites I will manage. I guide them without informing you follow that, you follow brahmacharya. No, we have to devise a technology to guide them how to follow these prerequisite conditions. They are called quality control. How much they follow yama niyama, that much better results you get in the treatment. Then how you detoxify. Sarve Langanam Paramaushadi. In the Nisarga Chikitsa, Prakritik Chikitsa, this is the sentence. So that's why all diseases are because accumulation of the toxins. That's why detoxification, in my opinion, yoga, there are several, but I use 2. One is cleansing practices, Shat Karma. Second one is Yukta Ahara. The many times we are not taking proper diet. Then making them to Mitahara. Yukta Ahara is different. Taking the right food at right time according to your psycho. Mitahara is yogic diet. When you elevate to the spiritual living, you have to transfer from the Yukta Ahara to Mitahara. And then is in the plant diet, in the yoga therapy, we are giving the yogic diet for the management of the disorders. Then a wonderful combination of asana. Third aspect, pranayama and dhyana. You can see asana is a small sphere, pranayama is in a bigger one, dhyana is a bigger one. Because for me, dhyana is yoga. Therefore, I may start 40 minutes yoga program, minutes per asana, 5 minutes or 6 minutes per pranayama, and only 1 or 2 minutes per dhyana. Later on, all 45 minutes, you are in dhyana. You are doing Ustrasana, you are in that state. You are doing Nadi Shodhan Pranayama, you are doing dhyana. Dhyana is giving you the better results as per my experience of 35, 36 years of giving yoga therapy. So this is my second slides of my own. I follow this intervention. Purification, diet modification, postural modification, breathe modification, relaxation, concentration, meditation. That brings the behavioral modification, what the modern psychologists are talking about. The behavioral modification will not come in a week or two. It takes minimum 3 months or so, minimum 3 months. So till then, if you continue the proper yoga practice, yogic intervention, so wherever it is needed, you have to give the purification, diet advisory, postural modifications. Every week you have to advise, upgrade the protocol. Then breathing, how much he has to do, how much he has to do, Ujjayi or Shitali or Brahmari, whatever it may be. What is the ratio? All these things has to be integrated in your protocol. Ultimately, that leads to a proper relaxation to the concentration, then prolonged concentration to meditation, dhyana, which happens. No one can teach dhyana. Dhyana happens. When dhyana happens, the individual are start modifying their lifestyle. The errors are making in their lifestyle, which lead to the disorders, can be rectified by the person himself. That's why it's a holistic. The role of a chikitsa or a role of a teacher here only to identify, making him convince and putting in the sadhana marker, and later on making him that what is or where it is problem, how he can give solution for himself. This is the way how I'm taking the yoga therapy. Now let us come one by one in a short time, discuss about the components of yoga therapy. First of all, ahara. A healthy diet helps protect against malnutrition and diet-related non-communicable diseases such as diabetes, hypertension, stroke, and cancer, etc. Therefore, yoga, it's not only the practice of asanas. No, diet or ahara, yukta ahara is also one of the yoga practice of yoga therapy. Adopt healthy dietary practices, balance calories with a calorie out, limited fat intake, shift from saturated to unsaturated fats, eliminate industrial products produced trans, limit sugars and salt intake wherever it is possible. Go for the complete yogic food, the local food, the seasonal food available, especially the fruits and vegetables. So nowadays it is continental. All 12 months we are getting the mango. So in my village, when mango season, when the first rain comes, my grandfather or my mother never allowed me to eat mango. There was a reason. So the same thing in various seasons, we have various fruits and vegetables. So always yoga advice, eat locally, seasonally available food that will prevent many of the disorders. They come to the rescue. So there is a simple way in Yoga Sutra. Yukta ahara is different. Mita ahara, snigdha, madura, chaturtangsha vivarjitaha. Bhujjate siva sampritai mita ahara samujjate. The quality food, quantity of food, state of mind is more important while taking the food, has been emphasized in our Hatha Yoga text and Bhagavad Gita, etc. So with this, what are the benefits? It's reduce the anxiety, stress reduced, curtail depression, elimination of hostility, dimensions of the trauma, lower risk of mental health conditions, and it improves the cognitive functions. So that helps to concentration and improved attention. So these are all psychological dimensions we are getting by cleansing and the proper diet. So you are getting this. This we proceed to the next. What is that? Asana, pranayama, and dhyana. How yoga works? Yoga works with the detoxification processes. So with a proper practice of combination of asana, pranayama, and dhyana as recommended by the therapist, that will help to balance endocrinal secretions, especially the pituitary secretions. Then nervous coordination, the central nervous system and the parasympathetic nervous system. Many people say that yoga improves the parasympathetic, but no. A good yoga protocol, well-designed yoga protocol balances the sympathetic and parasympathetic. Both are balanced by the regular practice of yoga. That's why whenever I do the forward bending, I am doing the backward bending as a complementary. Lateral bending, left, lateral, right. Twisting, right and left. So we are taken care of both sides so that there is a balance in the body, in the mind, in the prana. This balancing of two important vital systems, endocrinal and nervous systems, increases the mind-body coordination. Once mind and body understand each other, so many times body gives signals, but we ignore. Many times mind wants, but body doesn't have the capacity to digest, but mind wants. So then body says, don't eat. So I cannot digest, but mind will not listen. That's why mind said, yes, I'm listening to you. Then sometime body demands, I want water, I want this food. So this is a wonderful combination. We are start awareing the requirements of our body. And the pratyahara, it's a very important practice. Therefore, this type of mind-body coordination will prevent many of our metabolic disorders, what I found. Therefore, in yoga, mind listen to the body listen to the mind. And that's called mind-body medicine nowadays. Yoga is considered as a mind-body medicine. That brings the calm and quiet, brings health and harmony. And there is a wonderful relation between the prana and mind. So you see, this is the physical body. So I am the prana yoga. So therefore, I start regulating the breathing. In yoga, not only breathing, we give the ratio 1:2, 1:2, like this. So inhalation, retention, and exhalation procedures so have been properly managed. So that will create the lungs to the heart, the regulated activities of the heart, very, very subtle. Then healthy heart leads to the healthy vagus function. Vagus nerve connects with so many vital organs and gamets. The vagus, healthy vagus, bring the awareness that the neutron produces the pulse, just like a transmission of energy. That awareness of prana, it quantifies and it creates the higher level of consciousness, prana. Then continuously flowing in one direction that connects with the mind. This is the way how really you can connect with the prana and mind. This is the higher reality where yoga comes to the yoga chikitsaka. That's why you should be first energized person. You should be very healthy person, the yoga chikitsaka, because he had to create the energy. This is the way how our traditional yoga masters, so developing and treating. Many of the modern medical scientists, they don't agree, but he gives us, a good yoga therapist gives the results. Why? Because he purifies himself and he purifies others with these energy centers. So there are several researches are conducted in the recent past to testify the various dimensions of our prana and its awareness and the link between prana and mind. So that's the subject to discuss, and still a long way to go to establish the facts according to the modern medical concepts and principles. But Greece has established that because it's not only experimental, they are experiential. That's why here the teacher, it's a Guru Shishya Parampara. Guru transform that knowledge to the eligible students to have that. In the prolonged practice, we acquired this type of knowledge. So then only that's why sometimes the experience of a yoga therapist has come to them. Now come to the various practices. There are Shatkarmas, but 3, Neti, Dhoti, Kapalabhati, are very, very vital, important. You are all yogis. I don't go into the details. Please mute yourself. Lot of disturbances. Please mute. Thank you. So yoga, yogic cleansing practices. There are only 6, but nowadays what is that? It's Jalaneti. Earlier it is only 1. Next Sutra Neti, then it comes to the Jalaneti. Now we have developed Vataneti. What is the principle? Principle is only to cleanse the nasal frontal sinus. So we can use the water, we can use the air, we can use the thread, not the plastic one or the rubber one. So in the entire cleansing, yogic cleansing, we are not using any chemical. It's only the air, the water, some of the cotton cloths or cotton threads. We are using the cleansing the vital organs. So this technology we have to develop. How much neti you have to give, how much vastradhoti or punjala or Vatasara, Vainisara, whatever mentioned here in the Samhita, how much you have to give for the patients, that is the ratio and the duration of the cleansing practices. To detoxify, it's a very well versed big subject. Next comes Surya Namaskar. So Surya Namaskar is not part of our Hatha Yoga, but it is a part of our regular yoga tradition. This is for improving the vitality. Those who practice Surya Namaskara daily, they gain vitality, power, and wisdom. And we can see the whole central nervous system, the spine and the brain functions are improved. So by the practice of regular Surya Namaskara for at least 2 to 12 rounds. Then there are a series of asanas. Many people say 84, then people do 12 or 15, but I recommend 6 minimum movements, not asanas. At least forward bending. I cannot bend Paschimottanasana, forward bending, extreme forward bending. No, just start with small forward bending of your head. So then backward bending, small backward bending, small lateral bending, like this. Go on improving the stretchings and bendings. Forward, backward, lateral, twisting, topsy-turvy, and balancing and relaxation. So these are the some moments every day your protocol should have. Why I'm telling you, when you go to the medical doctor, they prevent you not to bend at all forward. If you are having a cervical spondylitis or the lumbar spondylitis, oh, you should restrict your movement. But good yoga therapist find out. So he may take precaution, but at the same time, appropriate movements he create by the different bendings so that other organs shall not be degenerated or affected by the restricted movements because of the one problem. There are some research findings. So we have more than 12,000 research papers published in peer-reviewed research journal. Today, I have just consciously, because it's a big issue. But in our institute, being a WHOCC, we have done some assessment of all these things, all the research papers. So we have done categorically how many of them on asanas, how many upon diabetes, how many on stress and income. There are several research papers on yogasana which says, so yogasanas activate this parasympathetic nervous system, bringing the mind body to a calm and relaxed state, what I said. It improves your practice as asana practice, improves the circulation and also detoxification. Detoxification is not only the cleansing, but also the pavan muktasana cells. So that also detoxify the intestinal toxins. So yogasanas tones up and revitalizes the organs, massage the joints, stretch and relax muscles to the optimum endocrinal gland secretions, develop individual stamina and promote internal awareness. Especially Shavasana improve blood circulation, regulate the blood pressure and heart rate, and improve the metabolism and reduce the metabolic rate. So research studies show regular practice of yogasana helps in improving the physical activity, metabolism, muscle strength, endurance with internally focusing on the mental state. It helps in prevention of many psychosomatic disorders, lifestyle disorders like diabetes, cardiovascular, etc. I've given some references. So whenever we do anything I claim for three things. One is I spoken with all the knowledge of the traditional knowledge. The second one is based on the research. Third one is on the basis of my experience of more than 3 decades of treating the patient and interacting with many medical and yoga professionals. These are the 3 things I am presenting. Like this, I have taken some of the research. Then pranayama. Many people Ashtanga yoga. Pranayama, the best is Anuloma Viloma Arnoldshow. So if you change the ratio, you will have the many changes. But when you are having in different circumstances, Shitali, Shitkari, Brahmari, etc., they can be used very diligently. But they are just for, suppose Shitali. Shitali has been designed to reduce your Pitta Vikar. Many people claim, oh, do Shitali, you will in the summer season, so will get the cooling. No. Such type of wrong notions many therapists are promoting. Go to the Shastra, Shitali is only to subsidize the hyperacidity problem. Taking Quanti and other medical solutions, but if you do an empty stomach, Shitali Pranayama or these things that will Shitkari, that will reduce the magnanimity of the acidic problem or Pitta Vikara. Like this Ujjayi and other Brahmari, etc. So pranayama reduces the levels of stress, boosts the immune system. You all know that during the pandemic, and reduce the cholesterol, increase on antioxidant production, enhance brain functions, and especially the mental focus, calmness, recovery from the stressful stimuli, etc. And pranayama practice normalizes brain wave patterns, increases serum prolactin, and brings the steady and peaceful mind by practice. So what I'm telling you, the autonomic nervous system, which is related to the mental and emotional reactions, are being taken care by the regular practice of pranayama ratios. These are the research shows that practice of pranayama helps in improving cognitive functions, improves the lung capacity, reduce stress, anxiety, and other psychological disorders. Research studies of yogic breathing or pranayama explore the significant implications on breathe, body, mind relationship. Mind, body, breathe relationship. So some of the references I had given at the bottom. Next comes bandhas and mudra. If you are really good therapist, did a master's, make best use of these bandhas and mudras. I'm showing only few, Hatha Yoga mudras and bandhas. There are several other bandhas and mudras mentioned in various tantric texts. So one has to study and make best use of them. Ultimately, all these things comes to the pratyahara, dharana and dhyana. So once you do relaxation, yoga nidra pratyahara practice, so concentration improves. So prolonged concentration leads to meditation. You can sit and meditate for a few minutes and few hours in the long way. Then meditation becomes an integral part of your day-to-day activities. That is called action in relaxation. So there are many researches, more than 6,000 research papers are there on meditation, which that meditation increase the serotonin, which is called a happy neurotransmitter, and serotonin production, which influence the mood and behavior. Meditation has also been associated with melatonin availability. Melatonin is also believed to be associated to feelings of happiness and well-being. Then early research on these aspects indicates it may have carcinogen and immune system enhancing effects, and especially DHEA, which is called a longevity molecule, and stress under pancha hormones in the body are going to manage that. Meditation provides a dramatic boost to the DHEA hormone levels, especially the GABA, gamma aminobutyric acid, and the GABA production in central nervous system, which improves the cognitive performance and enhances the emotional regulations. So there are few I'm putting out how meditation have the impact on our many the neurological and psychological aspects where accepting these facts. Once you practice yoga, what happens? In yoga therapy, always my first impact is reduce the stress, the physical, physiological, psychological, and emotional stress. Increase the mindfulness. Once we mindful and we start eating well, digesting well, circulating well, and relaxing well, eliminating well. So this is giving you enhanced relaxation. Whenever I eat, I had a trupti, and I am digesting in a proper manner. I am sleeping well. That enhances the relaxation. Ahara nidra, bhayamaituna. So that enhances the positive health. So every animal have this, but we are the human beings. So what is the difference between the East and the West? The Eastern people are Artha and Kama. They are more dominant in their life principles. But in your Indian continent, we are giving more emphasis on dharma and moksha. Chaturthartha Purushartha. Dharma, Artha, Kama, Moksha. Kama and Artha, I'm not denying. But if you are for, if eager for only these two, not following dharma and moksha principles, you are landing in a problem of dukkha, what I talked in the beginning. Therefore, so once you have that positive health, you have to emphasize on the dharma and the moksha principles so that I can make best enjoyment of the artha and the kama. Life will become a wonderful thing. Then I found who is a very healthy person. Who is very active, flexible, calm and quiet in all different, always positive, optimistic, life-oriented thinking, moksha-oriented thinking, balancing our, controlling our emotions, and do the activity in relaxation. Oh, I work only 2 hours. Oh, I'm tired. Just I go for a cup of tea or smoke or something like that. No. Go on, continue. My father used to say, change of work is relaxation. Just change one work to another work. So switch on the mind, you will get the relaxation. But continue working working is the duty has been given to us by the God, because God also functioning or working 24 hours. Not even a single second he take rest. When the God himself or the supreme force is himself is engaged in work without any gap, why not we the human beings, but do it with a total devotion. Karmanne vadikarasya mahapurush. Once this karma principle comes, then devote that karma. There need the nirupadika bhakti, unconditional love. Bhakti gives that. Then you are entering into the nitya anitya vastu viveka jnana. That jnana is giving you tadadrashtuhu. That is blissful awareness. This is the symptom of a complete holistic healthy living principles I'm putting forward. To promote it, we, the Morarji Desai National Institute of Yoga, with the Ministry of Ayush, joined hands with WHO. We come up with a WHO Yum Yoga app. You can download, just put it, you'll get it. So 5 minutes, 20 minutes, 10 minutes, and teaching models, only videos, audio also you can use. A wonderful tool, examined by more than 84 scientists of WHO level. And now last time, Honorable Prime Minister Sir has launched it on the eve of International Day of Yoga. So this is a wonderful app. Then with that, when we come up with a small app, there are many protocols our institute has developed. Yoga break app, distress, refresh, and refocus. So we are having a coffee break, tea break. Let's have 5 minutes break for yoga. Then stretching, bending, and breathing. 5 minutes. So that minimize the discomfort throughout the day, making our function very easily, and we can refocus on our business, which has been done. All these things has been extensive research. This protocol of 5 minutes has been examined in 6 centers, in 35 private and government bodies with 717 participants. In 6 metros, we come up with like this. Whatever we do with of the international standard research, we're coming up with that. So, to the end, we all know that Morarji Desai National Institute of Yoga is a premier, only one government institution under the Ministry of Ayush, and it's the only one WHO collaborative center in traditional medicine yoga since 2013, and we are providing many dimensions of traditional yoga as a medicine to the WHO think tank. So now they slowly start accepting yoga in the many healthcare delivery system. So our visions are health, happiness, and harmony for all through yoga. I do hope that my institution is not only conducting some courses. Our job is to bring all the yoga institutions into one platform. We have started Indian Yoga Association. We are providing any assistance or technical or financial, anything to all the yoga departments, yoga universities, etc., so that we all together work for the humanitarian, especially yoga therapy. Nowadays, it's very, very vital. But for yoga, it's a byproduct. But first, you should be a yoga practitioner, then you will become a better yoga therapist, because the dimensions of yoga therapy is what I mentioned are very, very vast. They're beyond science. The yoga person should have that wider dimension without the challenges of the modern world, and also integrating very well with the modern medical sciences and various Ayush systems of medicine, so that we can cater to the needs of the modern people. With these few words, I once again to thank the Professor Annapurna Madam and all the people present here, and also the Vice Chancellor and Co-Vice Chancellor for their esteemed presence, and also giving me this wonderful opportunity. Thank you. Jai Hind, Jai Bharat.
Thank you.
Shanti, Shanti, Shanti. Hari Om Tat Sat.
Thank you, sir, for enlightening us by your session and telling the importance of yoga therapy and yoga therapist also. Now I request Dr. Satish Rao sir, Director Research, to speak a few words.
Good afternoon. Good afternoon to everybody.
Good afternoon, sir.
Yeah. First of all, let me congratulate Dr. Ishwar for sharing his rich experiences to all. Sir, we had a lot of issues related to connections and all, but you really managed in such a way that nobody left the meeting and they were all listening till end. Okay, that itself it has shown the value of your talk, and it was a wonderful, comprehensive, talk where you give yoga as a therapy and its dimensions and relevances. You unrevealed all the facts of your experience, and in fact, you have enlightened regarding the yoga activities. I thoroughly enjoyed your talk. What are all the different yoga practices and how actually it will, add value to our life for being healthy, especially those points related to Satkarma, Yuktahara, Mitahara. I really impressed it, and also finally being a scientist, actually, I really congratulate the level how actually this yoga has been put into experiment, and people try to understand the benefits of that with the scientific basis. I think in days ahead, probably, it has become popular across the world, and now actually it is the right time to, being practiced by every person in every organization, in every colleges, and I think it should get into our life itself. And I am really happy, sir, with your rich experience. If you find a time to come over to Manipal and see our activities here, especially related to research, I think we can join hands together to, to give. Already, yoga is already evidence-based, science. I have no doubt about this. But then our collective effort, it will give a way forward. So I'm very happy to extend, welcome to you to our university. So with these few words, thank you very much, sir, for enlightening us with your wonderful talk, which is really motivative. And our young minds will be, especially in the field of yoga, and others who join, we will be motivated. And with these few words, I thank you very much, sir. Thank you very much.
Thank you. Thank you very much. One small suggestions to the students who are junior. I'm now nearing 60. Last 2 years, we are doing many online courses or online lectures, webinars. Many people we join, but we never show any face. And we mute, and whether they are there or not, just it's the attendance. But at least some of the people at the end, they show their presence. And that is the respect to the person who is talking or who has given spare time. Because webinars, even we don't see each other. But however, we are speaking sometime. I'm a teacher, basically. Are we teaching to the wall or something like that? Because our teaching modulates along with the reactions of the students. So I think so faculty members should take care of these things. There should be some response either in the mailbox or in the presence or in these things, because even though I'm giving, I'm watching what is the reactions of the listeners, or though we are in the. These are all some fundamental requirements to so that I'm here. Yes, every hour. I had got 2 calls from my secretary, but still I continue because it's a commitment. The say because I am a yoga person. So all of you are yoga students. Please show this in your future life. Small suggestion. If it hurts, kindly excuse me. Thank you. Thank you for wonderful opportunity. But I enjoyed my talk. I hope so. Yes, technical glitches are always common. We ignore, but sometimes it happens beyond our control. I don't mind for that. Thank you very much once again for your excellent opportunity. I do
Thank
hope
you,
that
sir.
we'll meet again. Thank you.
Sure, sir. I would request Dr. Annapurna K to give a concluding remark.
Um, Thank you, sir. The details of dimensions of yoga therapy were explained very clearly, sir. Your session was excellent. Thank you, sir. Namaste. Hope we'll meet again. I give my thanks to all the faculty members, research director, PLNG sir, and all the students and staff. Once again, thank you all. Thanks. Namaste.
Thank you. Gitika, nice to see you. You see now you are all showing your face. Namaskar, Director Saab. Thank you.
Thank you for the suggestion, sir.
Okay.
Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you. Participant, I request if you have any query, you can mail it to yoga.kmc@manipal.edu. We will forward it to sir. As sir has a meeting, he has to resume it. So I request you to mail it to yoga.kmc. I thank our special guest today, Dr. Ishwara Basvareddy, who has given an excellent talk. I also thank to Dr. PLNJ Rao sir, Pro VC, Mahe Manipal, Dr. B.S. Satish Rao, Director Research, Dr. Vishal Bhatt, Coordinator CMA, for supporting us throughout the webinar. I must not forget to thank to all the participants who have given their time and making this webinar a success. And we are sincerely thankful to sir for sparing his time and coming here and giving the talk. Thank you, sir. Namaste, sir.
Namaste, sir. Namaste.
Thank you, madam. I take leave. Thank you.
Thank you, sir. Thank you, sir. Thank you. Namaste.
The recording has stopped.